All right, I'm on the phone with head football coach Mark Shields from the MDI Trojans, the first place MDI Trojans. And Coach, I don't know if you've recovered from Friday night. Holy smoke, I'll tell you that. Talk about a game that had momentum swings, and then the final minute and a half took about a year and a half off my life. I'm not sure about yours.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a lot older than me, so that's bad.
I don't have that much left, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to start calling these guys the cardiac kids. I really do, because after the Madison game, and it came down to the last play of the game, and now we're down to Oceanside, and it comes down to a field goal late, and the guy misses it. And, yeah, I mean, after the Madison game, I mean, I was just so excited. Kids were excited, jumping around. I think after the Oceanside game, we're happy that we won, but we're just like, oh, my gosh, we don't have anything left. You know, we're just exhausted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was quite a night for sure. I mean, obviously we did have some injuries that affected us, but you know what? That's just part of football. That's part of the game. It's a contact sport. There's no excuses here. You just have to, suit up and play the game and play hard and try to find a way to win. And, I told Bunky Dow, my athletic director, before I headed down on Friday, I said, we got to try to win ugly here. And sure enough, it was pretty ugly. But you just have to find ways of winning ball games when you need to. And the kids, to their credit, they just never quit. They just do not quit, no matter what the circumstances are. They just get after it, and they play for 48 minutes. And they did the same thing against Oceanside. And when you do that, it doesn't mean you're going to win, but you give yourself a good opportunity to win. So I was real pleased with the kids' effort.
Let's talk about a couple plays. First of all, one of the weirdest plays I've seen in a long time was when they scored in that third quarter, when Dabrowski they fumbled the ball. It looked like MDI had recovered it. The whistle never blew. Dabrowski picked it up and then ran around the outside on the left side, scoring from 41 yards out.
Yeah, and I was behind that play on the sideline, and I see the ball go on the ground, and I'm excited because we're going to get the ball back. And next thing you know, I see him. He's running down the sideline for a touchdown, and I'm thinking, what just happened? And you look at it on tape, and, honestly, I think the officials may have gotten that one right. Originally, I thought he was definitely down, and what I saw on tape was he had his knees on the ground, but he did not have control of the ball yet.
See, I thought his knee was down when he had the ball, and I'm looking over at the sidelines going, well, I don't see everybody screaming. Maybe I'm just hallucinating.
Yeah. I honestly didn't know at that point in time, and looking at the tape, it could have gone either way. I mean, he definitely had a knee down, but it looked like the ball was still loose on the ground, and then he picked it up. The whistle doesn't blow, and he's still the only one, he's the only one still playing hard that play. Everybody else has stopped watching it all happen. Next thing you know, there he goes down the sideline for a touchdown. So that really hurt. I mean, here we are. We're having a hard time moving the ball anyway offensively and scoring points, and we're sticking them defensively, and then they get one like that, kind of a cheap one, honestly, where it was just a weird play, and the kid picks it up and goes for a score. So that was a bizarre play for sure. There was a bunch of them.
How about the onside kick? I mean, everybody knew it was coming, and then it bounces off shins of an MDI player.
Yeah, that's another one that's it's a head scratcher, and it's no fault of any of the kids out there. The kid for Oceanside, it was a really good kick.
Dabrowski, I mean, he's their all conference player. I mean, without any question.
Yeah, the kid's phenomenal, and so he kicks it, and it's one of those, if you wait for it to go 10 yards and try to pick it up, well, they're probably going to jump on it. So I think our player decided, well, I'm going to try to field it, and sure enough, we didn't field it cleanly, and they jump on it, and I just started thinking, maybe this is not meant to be for us tonight, and sure enough, our defense bailed us out one more time. They've been doing it time and time again. They did it against Madison, and we were able to, I believe, steal a win. I look at the stats. I got the stats today and from Jack Merrill, and they had all the offense and, the turnover battle, and, really, looking back, they're probably wondering how they didn't win that ball game, but I told the kids after the game, this is that old saying that offense wins games and defense wins championships, and our defense is definitely helping us win these ball games.
Well, I spoke to Mark Arnold, who's the defensive coach, and he was confident on Thursday night, and hats off to them. I mean, in the first half, I had Oceanside with 25 yards rushing, and Dabrowski was 6'20" passing with 91 yards in the interception.
Yeah. They have some weapons. We talked about it going into the game, and our numbers are low. I told my staff Sunday at our coaches meeting, I said, we're warming up, and I'm looking at our 23 guys in pads. I'm looking over there, and they have whatever, looks like 40 kids and some big, athletic, strong. I'm thinking, and we're the favorite to win tonight, really? Sure enough, credit to our kids. They came right out and played hard, and they got the win. So, hats off to them, and now we get ready to try to take on a tough Old Town team.
All right, so let's tell us who you gave the game ball or are giving the game ball to.
Yeah, well, once again, I haven't been able to make a decision. It was such a bizarre game. There's definitely some names out there that I'm thinking of. I want to talk to my staff one more time before our meeting this afternoon when we issue the game ball. But it was such a team effort. I don't look at one kid and go, wow, that kid just was so much better than everybody else. I think it was just a team effort, especially when you think defensively that so many guys were making plays that I still have not made that decision yet.
Okay. Win and you finished first place. I don't think MDI has finished in first place in the Crabtree points, have they?
I don't believe so. I really don't. I don't know about years ago when Toogie McKay was head coach. I don't remember anybody telling me that they were ever the number one seed, but maybe they were. But since I've been head coach and I was an assistant for 7, that's 21 years now, we've never been the number one seed. So, this is just such a huge game for us, and it's a big game for Old Town. They need to get a win. They want to try to get themselves in the playoffs, and the weather looks like it's not going to be wonderful, and I just think it's going to be another dogfight. I think it's going to be a one-touchdown ball game, just like down there at Oceanside, and it actually ended up being a 2-point game, but it's going to be a tough one.
If Old Town does not win, they run the risk of they'll be out of the playoffs. You win, you go number 1, you have the following week off, and then the road to Portland goes via Bar Harbor, which is kind of nice. I mean, you'd have the playoff game then on, it would be November 4th, because you'd be off on the 28th, so that you'd host the semifinals on November 4th. This year, at least, we don't have to worry about a playoff game on Halloween. Remember that.
That was no good.
Yeah. And then, assuming you get through that, then, you could end up having to play the finals on November 11th.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, and you see it in the NFL all the time, those teams want that number 1 seed and get that bye so they can rest their players, and plus you're going to be playing at home. And, I mean, let's face it, I always have thought that MDI has been a much better team at home throughout the years that I've been head coach anyway, because the kids, we get a great crowd. The kids get really excited. We, good fan support, and, I just think we probably do play better at home in front of our own crowd. So it's huge. I mean, I tell the kids tonight, basically, you're winning 2 games in 1 here if you can beat Old Town, because that means you're going to get next week off, and plus you're going to get that home field advantage. Somebody's going to have to come to you in the semifinal. I mean, you've already won a playoff game if you can win this game. You don't have to play that quarterfinal round. So,
and let's face it, as injured as the team is, you really need a bye week.
We do. I mean, Coach DeMiro, one of my assistants, he said, boy, if a team ever needed a bye week, it's us. We need to rest up and get better, and, our numbers were low to start, and we knew that, we're a few injuries away from being a pretty mediocre team, and fortunately the kids, the ones that get hurt, some of them are been, they've been able to get back, some haven't, but there's just been a lot of other kids step up and fill their shoes and still getting the job done. So it would be great to get that bye week and rest up and then get ready for that semifinal playoff game.
And then let's face it, I mean, if you are the number 1 seed, you avoid Winslow or Madison until the finals.
Right. So that's huge as well. I totally agree with that.
You're likely to play either Foxcroft or Oceanside again in the semis, but at least then that again is, as we've talked about, is in Bar Harbor, and then you're forcing Oceanside to go for a couple-hour drive, or Foxcroft a couple-hour drive. Yeah,
for sure. And sometimes that takes the wind out of team sails when you have to travel that far. And there are no gimmies in this league. So to have to play, you remember back in 2008, we beat Waterville in the regular season, whatever it was, 42-14, I think.
Yeah.
And we had to face them in the quarterfinal, and that came down to the last play of the game, to win. So you can't count on any wins when it comes to playoff time because teams just play at a different level. And boy, if you can miss that first quarterfinal round and you're resting your kids, and then you're getting ready for the semifinals, that's huge. And plus, you're going to play at home, so it just does. We say this all the time, but it really does not get any bigger for us than this game against Old Town.
So what do you work on this week? Obviously you're going to put Graham Good, who I thought in his limited action, who knew he could run with such speed? And, we talked about him last week about being inspiring. I think the first time he carried the ball and got the first down, he made such a vigorous first down call on his own. He sold it. The official, how could he not call first down after Graham ran?
Yeah, and we've been talking about Graham all season and his career here at MDI, and, you've seen on the basketball court as well. He's just a high-energy, high-intensity guy, real strong, athletic kid, so we're thinking, hey, let's put him at fullback. It looks like Corey Alby's going to be out, probably definitely for this game, and we don't know how many more after this game, but, put a kid back there that's going to be big and strong, and, giving him the ball, if you give one of your best athletes the ball, 10, 15 times a game, that's good news for us. So, I think he's going to do a real nice job. We're going to rep him hard this week. Today being Monday, we normally break down tape and don't go up on the field a lot of times. We'll lift the kids in the weight room. But today we're actually going to go out and go over our base offense with Graham and start, hopefully he starts feeling more comfortable with our system at the running back position. But, I think he's going to fill in nicely, and, I think he has good vision. He sees the hole well, and he hits it hard, and, I think he's going to be a good asset to our backfield.
All right. What do you want to say? You need to have, and even though the weather sounds like it's going to be crummy on Friday night, you need to have those stands packed.
Yep, definitely. We're going to need as many people out there as we can. I keep telling the kids the playoffs start today, and that's when I told them after, once we beat Madison, it's like every game's a playoff game for us now. We have to win these games to get ourselves in a better situation to make a run. And, if we can get people out here, bring your umbrellas, rain jackets, whatever it takes, but get out here and cheer these kids on would be fabulous. And, I know they're going to make you proud one more time.
All right, Coach. Have a good week. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right, Chris. Thank you. All right, Chris.